What's up? This is Tom Fromling from TwinsDaily.com. You see the headline here. We're going to talk about this. Byron Buxton and the Twins have not been able to come to an agreement on a contract extension. Given everything that's going on with Byron right now, given everything that's going on with what we've heard about the offers, we have some more concrete information here from this article from The Athletic. Dan Hayes and Ken Rosenthal combining to put this together. I'm not all that surprised. What I'm curious about here is if this is going to have any kind of a domino effect on anybody else on the Twins. We'll talk about that in just a sec, but I do want to break this down. Again, as I always say, please go subscribe to The Athletic. I'm not going to give away this entire article because I want you to support that publication. They do a lot of great work. In addition to Dan Hayes and Aaron Gleeman writing for the Twins, we've got this report, Ken Rosenthal pitching in. And I want to point out, too, that this has been kind of painted as that, well, if Byron Buxton won't sign an extension, the Twins are going to trade him. That may be true, but I want to kind of take the headline from here to increasing the chance of off-season trade. I don't think, there may be teams that would express interest in trading for Byron Buxton now, but he's hurt. So what are the odds that a team would present the Twins with a trade package that was attractive enough for them to accept it? I think extremely low since he's injured right now. That's a really key piece to this report, in my opinion, that it increases the chances of an off-season trade. He's not going to get traded at the deadline more than likely. But I say this isn't very surprising because the initial offer was for $73 million over 7 years with incentives, and then increased to a guarantee of $80 million. Byron Buxton for $80 million guaranteed for 7 years, that. Obviously, whenever we're talking about sports money, it's ridiculous. As a normal person, we can't comprehend these things. But what do you think Byron Buxton would get out on the open market? Would he be able to get a guarantee of more than $80 million? That might be hard, to be honest. That might be tough. But I would think on an annual basis, he would be able to crush this deal on the open market. I think it's interesting that the Twins have been kind of trying to push him towards the 7-year. I think they know that this guy's going to be worth more than that. It's plus incentives too, so they have that baked in. And it goes both ways. I'm not saying that this is only, I'm not surprised that Byron would reject this, but, there's plenty of reasons to also keep in mind why the Twins wouldn't really want to go too far beyond this in terms of a guarantee. I mean, he's been hurt all the time. There's no getting around it. As much as I love Byron Buxton, you can't just pretend like that's not a thing. I would probably feel comfortable going further than that number, but it's not my money. So it's not my job tied to it. It's very easy for me to sit here as a fan and say I think Byron Buxton would be worth more than that. But I think it's curious that the Twins added more money and still kept the 7 years when maybe it seems like maybe kind of shortening things up to a 4 or 5 year extension may be more palatable to him. He can hit the back on the free agent market without being, completely kind of over the hillish at that point. But my kind of thought process here is like, I expect these talks continue. I don't think this is like open, closed book or anything. Maybe they end up finding an agreement. I do think it's encouraging that they've been exchanging numbers. And the way that this was originally reported was that Byron rejected an offer. That's been kind of corrected by Rosenthal to say that basically the two sides have made offers and neither of them finds them attractive. So maybe they can meet in the middle at some point. There's a lot of time for this to develop again, because I don't think this is a thing where Byron Buxton's about to be traded. Now, Jose Berrios, that is potentially a different story. Jose Berrios healthy, Jose Berrios pitching very well. So let's talk about that. Here's something I tweeted out yesterday. Getting the suspicion some team is going to meet the asking price for Berrios. Not a lot of starting pitchers rumored to be available. That is starting to seep in. I'm starting to kind of accept the fact that it feels like there's a better chance that Berrios gets traded than I had originally thought. I don't want him to get traded, but everybody has a price. There is a price in which it makes sense for the Twins to trade Jose Berrios. By all accounts, it sounds like they're asking for a ton, But if he's the best starting pitcher available on the market, which seems highly likely, Kyle Gibson has been struggling since the All-Star break. Max Scherzer is not healthy at the moment. There are some other guys out there who are pitching well, but it seems like, you never know if a last-minute seller comes in, but it seems like Jose Berrios is the top guy out there. So really all it takes is for one team to decide we need the top starting pitcher on the market, which isn't all that hard to believe, and basically meeting whatever kind of asking price the Twins are going to put on Jose Berrios. I could see it happening. Now, what does this have to do with Byron Buxton? Well, if the Twins if this happens to be a line in the sand, the Twins are not going to continue any kind of discussions with Byron Buxton. They have given up hope on extending him and basically plan on trading him this offseason. All of a sudden, that $80 million you were going to guarantee Byron Buxton, all of a sudden that potentially $100+ million you were going to have to pay him plus incentives in that deal is open. And what are you going to do with that? The Twins have had a hard time on free agency signing guys, even when they've been aggressive in courting them. Zach Wheeler was a guy they really wanted. They went after hard, and he wanted to be out on the East Coast, and he got an offer that was, good from the Phillies. They couldn't get him to come here. That's the thing that's going to happen sometimes. So you might say, well, they can go out and get a free agent instead. That there's no guarantee that's going to work out, even if you bring a bunch of money to the table. The best free agents are going to have a lot of options. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be able to offer similar or more money than the Twins are. So, keeping with that conversation, you have a guy in-house here in Jose Berrios where you kind of have first dibs at him. He is not going to sign a below market value deal. A lot of people position that as that he doesn't want to be here. I think that's unfair. I don't think that's the case. I just think that it's that Jose Berrios doesn't want to take less to be here. And why would he? Why would he? This is his big chance to make a big. I mean, he's already made a good money in his career. He's going to make good money next year no matter what. But this is his biggest chance at a big cash in his career. It's his responsibility to get as much as he can out of this opportunity. So no, he is not going to give the Twins any kind of a deal. They're going to have to pay him what he thinks he'd be worth on the open market, which is going to be a lot. But again, you have basically this exclusive negotiating window with Jose Berrios right now while he's under team control, where you at least can have those conversations without having other teams outbid you at this time. So it's going to be interesting to see how this may impact it. Again, this was just yesterday that I was sort of getting that suspicion that it might be tipping closer to 50%. I probably would have said sort of at the start of this month that it was a 75% chance that Berrios stays, 25% chance that he gets traded. I've been starting to feel like without, more sellers coming in, without more starting pitchers hitting the market, it actually feels like less guys are out there, in fact, that, man, somebody's really just going to jump the gun. And I'm feeling it's about 50-50 yesterday. Maybe this Buxton news has a little bit of impact. Maybe that bumps it back down to like 40-45. Because I do think that conversation changes the way the Twins approach a potential Jose Berrios extension. But that is all thoughts in my head. That is all speculation. That's just me sort of putting things together. So what do you think about this whole situation? What do you think about these two guys? Thank you for checking this out. Please subscribe for more Twins Talk here on YouTube, and we will talk again soon. Thank you.